The kind of play we saw from the Warriors on that last possession. What we need to see more of is Matheny knocks down the deep three to get the Warriors within 8 points with 1:20 left here in the second quarter.
This is going to be the last regular season game for both these teams, and West Virginia State's really struggled since the new year. Tim lost 16 of 17 on a 9-game losing streak, and they're getting outscored by opponents by about 185 points in those 9 games, and you see also on their own losing streak at 4 games. And that's certainly something we hope to see continue for this Warrior team. Trey Davis now up to bat for Wood County. Going to pop that one to Zuspan. Zuspan over to step at first, and just like that, the Warriors with 2 outs. Perfect start to the game for Zuspan. Only 2 pitches and already 2 outs for his team.
Camera standing at 6'7", the tallest player on this West Virginia State team, and taking advantage of it there with the rejection on that last play. That's something that Coach Poore wants to see more of, is Camera doing a great job protecting the rim, because with his height, it's something he can do very well naturally.
And so often we talk about the tangibles on the court, but also I think something really important is their characteristics and attributes off the court. And Lakin, tell me a little bit about this leadership ability that Abby has.
Knocking that one down. Corbin going to pull up for 3. Good, as Ryan Corbin has been absolute fire from behind the 3-point line, and really the whole Warrior team has.
Definitely going to be very important. Always have a lot of practices over Christmas break if you play for a Dave Corbin team, and going to be important to get some of these players that haven't had as much playing time these past years to get some reps and practice and get more used to playing for this Warrior basketball team.
Tim, an electric atmosphere tonight, and we should have quite the game to go along with it. 2 great basketball teams, 2 of the best Christian school teams in the state of West Virginia. Going to be very exciting to see them match up tonight.
And Tim, anytime you go on the road, no matter what level of basketball it is, you can either let the atmosphere control you or you can control the atmosphere, and Huntington Prep has certainly done a great job of silencing this Tays Valley crowd right from the opening tip in this one.
I was listening to a practice the other day, and Coach Corbin was talking about how he wants Sam to demand the ball, not just stand down low and wait for others to pass it to it, but instead demand it. And he said, Sam, if you're going to do that, your scoring's going to double or maybe even triple, and that's something the Warriors are going to need if they're going to get the win tonight against Mountain State.
And, Tim, you can only think of one word to describe the floater by Dane Hicks, and that's automatic. Every time that shot goes up, it almost always goes in.
As we had quite the game going until that light went out, Ryan, and really had a nice flow to it. But you know what? If you remember a few years ago, some lights went out at the Super Bowl. So if it can happen at the Super Bowl, it can happen anywhere.
Definitely.
And we're seeing that here at Buffalo High School.
Exactly, and we're very thankful for our staff. Tim and I are the only ones you see on camera, but a lot of people behind the camera that really make this happen here at Warrior Sports Network.
Six years ago, 4 young, energetic, and optimistic 6th graders began their baseball careers for CLCS. No one knew how they would turn out. No one knew how much they would accomplish. No one knew what the future held. Fast forward to now, and all 4 of them are seniors playing in their 5th championship in 5 years and on the brink of winning their 3rd banner. As the seniors get ready for their final game, all those memories from over the years flash back. All those hard-fought wins, gut-wrenching losses, and hours spent at practice working to get better all come down to this. One final game wearing a Warrior uniform, one final game as a unit on a diamond where they have fought so many battles. Tonight, the seniors try to finish it all off with a storybook ending to a historic 6 years. The opposition, a foe way too familiar to the Warriors, one who has caused so much heartbreak, the Greater Beckley Crusaders. Back-to-back years, the Warriors have lost to the Crusaders in the championship game. Will it be a three-peat for Greater Beckley? Or will Cross Lanes finally overcome the Crusaders? It's just a matter of time before we find out. But when the game is coming to an end tonight, and the lights are shining brightly, the fans are on the edge of their seats, and the players are trying to make that game-changing play, let's remember these 4 seniors, these 4 pillars of CLCS baseball, and all they've done and accomplished over the past 6 years. Whether they win or lose this evening, I think it's safe to say that as fans, we have already won. We've got to witness greatness, class, and integrity wrapped up in 4 individuals who have poured their hearts out for us on that field for 6 straight years. Tonight, we get to watch them one final time. 4 seniors, 4 pillars of CLCS baseball, 4 lives changed forever because of a sport.
And Jenkins with a nice move, puts up the 3 and knocks it down. Everyone here in Institute is certainly used to seeing him knock down the threes, as he actually broke the school three-point record earlier this season, and only doing that as a freshman. Tim knocked down 10 three-pointers against Urbana earlier this year, and he is certainly going to be a player to watch here over the next few years for West Virginia State. And Tim, offensive rebound is going to be really important for both teams this evening, as Huntington Prep goes early down to the big man Chase Johnson, as he gets the first 2 points of the game for Huntington Prep.
I think you mentioned something right there, Lakin, that's very interesting. Something that Tim and I, you and I both talk about very often on Warrior Sports Network, and it's the fact that Abby knows when to be serious and when to have fun, and the two never really collide, and it's something very special for a basketball player, Tim.
Athene now with the pitch, 1-1 the count. That one a shot by Mullins to center field. Carpenter calling everyone off, and he'll pull in the catch.
Who else but Matthew?
That's right, the senior leader of the outfield. Pulled that one in with no problem. 1 out now in the bottom of the 6th inning, as the Warriors try to inch closer and closer to that elusive banner that they've wanted for so long.
Look like a well-oiled machine down there on the offensive end, Tim, and I think a lot of that has to do with the ball movement. They're creating space on the offensive end, moving the ball around the perimeter as well as inside, and it's creating those wide-open shots that are hard to miss.
Johnson's going to go to work down low on Sukhanov and get the shot to fall, as Chase Johnson, Tim, so good, and no doubt one of the best players in the country down low. Definitely a nightmare for any defense. It's as Terrence Jenkins going to use the nice pump fake right there and get the shot to go. As the pump fake, Tim, one of those things you learn so early in basketball whenever you go to a basketball camp. One of the first things they teach you, and definitely used to perfection right there by Terrence Jenkins.
All right, welcome back here to Warrior Sports Network following the Warriors' big win against Sherman. I'm here with Jacob Fitzwater, player of the game, and new member of the Warriors' 1,000-point club, Abby Jeffrey. Abby, very special night for you. Walk me through what that moment felt like.
It was just a dream come true. Like it's something I've worked hard for and look forward to since I was a freshman, since I saw Courtney Kendrick do it. And so I'm just honored to be here.
And we saw you get a little emotional out there on the court, Abby. Tell me a little bit about how much this team, how much this school means to you.
It means a lot. I've been here since 2nd grade. Like, this is my family. This is what I've grown up knowing, who I've grown up knowing. And so it's just very emotional to be here with everybody and have everybody here celebrating this moment with me.
Abby, we saw you celebrate the moment with Coach Kendrick after that. You've had him all the way through middle school and here the last 2 years in high school. What does Coach Kendrick mean to you?
He means a lot. He's helped me develop into the player I am today. Like, he's taught me the basics, anywhere from the basics all the way up to how to shoot a 3 properly. So it's just, he means a lot to me.
Abby, at the beginning of the season, we talked, and you told me that your goal for the season was to get that 1,000-point mark. You've done that successfully. Now going forward, where do you go from here?
Just continue to work hard, continue to grow. Hopefully, I will be playing college basketball, so just working to that goal, and ultimately for the end of the season, going to the WVCAT and bringing home a banner.
All right. Well, once again, big congratulations on the big night, Abby. Wish you guys all the best luck throughout the season.
Thank you.
46% as Elliott pulls up for 3 and knocks it down, getting his senior night going strong as he gives State a 6-2 lead over their rivals UC.
Dane Hicks with a great ability as a big man to come outside and shoot the 3 ball. Very versatile player, Tim, as you can see him protecting the rim on that play right there and getting the rebound or shooting the 3 or jumper on the other end. Really an all-around player for the Warriors so far this year.
And, Tim, those are exactly the kind of plays you're going to see from everyone on this Huntington Prep team. All these guys out there have a very high basketball IQ and just definitely show it out there with heads-up plays like those.
We saw it right there on the opening possession. Players doing a great job cutting for the ball, and you see a bunch of players on this state team that want the ball and constantly call for the ball, and that's what you look for as a coach. You want players to want the ball and want to take shots, and you definitely see quite a few of them here on this state team.
Zuspan now ahead in the count, 0-2, trying to get another strikeout on the night, and does. A swing and a miss by Azinger, as that is Zuspan's 7th strikeout of the night. A great evening of work so far from Zuspan, and great evening for the Warriors as a whole. Your Warriors lead 7-0, heading into the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll see you on the other side of the commercial break here on Warrior Sports Network.
Ethan Hicks has an absolutely fantastic shot. Great performance from behind the arc for him. And going to be really interesting to see what kind of playing time those subs get tonight. We had a few players tell us that Coach Corbin is going to give the starters 2 minutes tonight to prove themselves. So definitely going to light a fire under those starters, I think, to come out and perform so that those bench players don't come out and take their spots.
And, Tim, I think it's a big win for the Warriors having these defensive stops because the last time the two teams played, Greater Beckley made almost everything. They shot 57% from the floor, 55% from behind the arc. So I think it's great for the Warriors' confidence to see Greater Beckley miss a little bit. Going to need a lot of that. Pitch now by Green. That one popped up by Matheny. Mullins will try to run into the outfield, and he'll be there to pull it down. 1, 2, 3 here in the top of the 1st inning. And just like that, Greater Beckley will be up to bat right after this quick commercial break here on Warrior Sports Network.
As far as Wheeling Jesuit goes, I'm looking for Preston Boswell to come off the bench. A freshman, but averaging 13 points coming off the bench, shooting 47% from three-point range and 49% from the field. Very efficient shooter and only a freshman, but certainly not playing like one.
Played basketball at the college level. You know how high intense the games are. How do you think Abby's game is going to translate to the college basketball game? As Coach Poore trying to use that bench to his advantage, Tim, and in a rivalry game when both teams are going at it, they're full force out there on the floor, you've definitely got to utilize your bench as much as possible.
They really did put it on the Warriors the last time the two teams met, beat the Warriors 75-47, so going in with the mindset that they lost by that much the first time, I think that's going to be tough to erase mentally for the Warriors.
And you talked about the fact that you're going to be losing those 6 seniors. Going to be a very young team and definitely an ability and a possibility for Abby to come in as a freshman and make a difference. How important is it going to be for the freshmen to step up for you next year?
It's really important. You know, we have set a level of how good of a team we are. You know, we've been top 25 and finished 18th last year in the nation, and so I mean it's going to be very important for these freshmen, the ones that we bring in. They have a huge opportunity to be starters or to really drive this team in the direction we want it to be. So it's a very, very big shoes to fill for sure.
And you had an opportunity here to watch this ceremony, and you saw Abby get a little choked up and get emotional about her school. How much more does that want you to coach her as a coach, to see that passion and that desire she carries for the school, and that passion obviously going to carry over to Asbury?
It's exciting. I mean, you can't teach passion, you can't grow passion really. It's just something you have to want and really desire. And when you have players like that, they're going to give you everything they have every single night. So it's really exciting.
As the Warriors look to increase their lead, Casey Legg with the 3. No good, but Dane Hicks right there to grab the rebound and go up strong with it, as the Warriors now have a 5-point lead here with Wood County trying to get back into this ball game.
And Lakin, as being a teammate of Abby, you heard Mrs. Monk talk about that drive. What's it like seeing that drive up close and personal out on the court?
And how about the efficiency so far from West Virginia State on the offensive end, Tim? Shooting 83% from the field. Typically only average 44% from the field as a team, so shooting almost double what they're used to, doing a great job creating shots and doing a great job finishing. Great job there by Pinnell, Tim, on the last one to get out ahead of the Warriors' transition defense. We've seen pretty good transition defense from this Lady Warrior team all season long, but Pinnell just got that extra step and drew the foul as her first free throw is up and good.
And I think part of the problem, Tim, is that the Warriors can't really find a very reliable scorer right now to carry the scoring load for this team. At the beginning of the season, we saw Ryan and Casey stepping up, but now we're seeing the scoring really spread out. So we need someone to step up for this Warrior team, and it's going to be interesting to see who that's going to be this afternoon.
As it looks like the senior Chase Johnson will be taking the tip for Huntington Prep. And sophomore Anderson Marumbo will be tipping for Tays Valley, and we are officially underway here in Tays Valley. And I think one of the also very special things about Abby is the fact that she leads by example out on the court. Always such a great example to people on the court or off the court. I remember, Tim, we saw the other night whenever she scored her 1,000th point, we saw all these kindergartners come out and mob her, and that definitely says a lot about the ability that she has to lead both on the court and off the court here at CLCS. As the pitcher Max Miller coming up to bat now for Wood County. Got the early strike against Zuspan, as that one going to be slid in there by Zuspan too. Miller thought that one was going to be outside, so he kind of stepped out of the way, and Zuspan snuck that one back into the strike zone. 0-2 the count on Miller. And Johnson done a great job defensively early in this one, Tim, as Chris Smith makes a move and gets the shot to fall.
Smith's so dangerous with those kind of shots as you saw there. And Jacob, we both know Christian, and there he goes. He's going home, and now it looks like he's going to be caught in no man's land as Kennedy now going to take off to home, going to slide. Safe! Christian Kennedy with the effort and not afraid to slide in there. Gets the Warriors their 4th run of the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And welcome back here to Warrior Sports Network. Tim tried to close out the show here before we began, but you can't have a signing ceremony without talking to the star of the show. And we are now live with the star of the show tonight, Abby Jeffrey. Abby, how excited are you to attend Asbury?
But nonetheless, I want to thank all of our crew here at Warrior Sports Network. Camera operator for today's game, Zach Wilson, Christian Rohr, producer Trey Montgomery, color commentator Ryan Davis. I'm Aaron Nolan saying so long here from Buffalo, West Virginia.